So hi everyone and welcome to Architecture in the Den with me, your host Lisa Rains from Pride Road, the architectural practice franchise. So today I've got Anne Okafor on the phone, on the line. Do you want to say hello?
Hello, hi everyone.
So I met Anne probably about 12 months ago on Clubhouse. So we're Clubhouse friends. And funnily enough, we've kind of found a few things in common. Yep. So it's definitely a plug for Clubhouse. And yeah, do come and I run a room on a Monday morning at 8 a.m. Called Constructive Together, and it's about all things construction networking, and that is exactly how we met. So without further ado, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yep. Hi everyone, my name's Anne Okafor and I'm a construction planner. I work for a company called Prudent Group in Glasgow, and we're one of Scotland's largest independent development and construction companies, and we deliver construction activity across a number of sectors: residential, commercial, leisure, all the usual kind of things. I also have a number of different hats on outside my work role, which I talk about in some of these Clubhouse rooms that we go, and I seem to have a different hat on every week, some weeks. So, but I'm also a volunteer. The main thread through all my different hats is that I volunteer and advocate for young and new professionals coming into industry, to promote the industry as an industry of opportunity, and to help young people see the good things that we do in construction and not all the necessarily the bad things that we're known for sometimes.
So who did you say you work for?
It's a company called Prudent Group in Glasgow. Yeah.
Is that CRUDEN?
DEN. Yeah.
Is it national, the group?
No, it's just based in Scotland. We're across Glasgow and Edinburgh. We have I'm in the Cruden building west, so in the Glasgow side we have a Cruden building east, and we also have a number of other businesses where there's a private development kind of sides as well. I think there was a Cruden group that was in England, or it was worked nationally, but we're a separate entity from them, so different people.
Okay. So I've just had to take a break because I could hear the dog in the background doing something suspicious. But she's denied all knowledge.
Yes, that's the way, isn't it?
I know, but so I've got one sneaky eye kind of on the door.
That's okay.
So what is construction planning?
So my role is a little bit different to a normal construction planner, I guess. I do construction planning, which is essentially what I like to say is the to-do lists for the projects. Because I guess in its fundamental form, it is the to-do list for the projects. You know, a list of all the things that needs to be done in order to deliver that project in an order, in a sequential order, with time and with resource added to that. Yeah. So most of my role is around that. I also do other aspects of my role include sort of some other project controls, looking at resources and manpower and things like that, or person power, as we should say nowadays, that it takes to deliver those projects, and looking at how that impacts the business for forecasting, and also for records, so that we can plan better and make better plans in the future, better to-do lists in the future. So essentially that's what I do.
So is it an offshoot of QSing?
A little bit, and sometimes I liken it to estimating in some ways, because estimators estimate the cost, whereas sometimes I have to estimate the time, and it's kind of similar to that. And we work very close with quantity surveyors in terms of the commercial aspect, because obviously time is equal to money in this game. So very much we work closely with them, and I work closely with the operations guys as well, in terms of what the sequence will be, and how the progress developed as well. Do we need to make adjustments? Did we get it right? You know, was there something that changed? And then how does that fit into the plan of making the project deliver?
So do you work on like one project at a time or multiple projects at a time?
Multiple. I work across multiple. At the moment, I am across a number of different projects, all in all probably about around 20, but the operations guys tend to do most of the management of their programme, the operations managers, and I have an overview and an input into the software and things like that, running those things.
And what sort of software do you use?
We use a programme called ASTA Power Projects. ASTA, yeah, it's ASTA.
Yeah.
Power projects, and that's what we use in our business to plan all our projects.
I mean, I don't think I'd ever come across a construction planner until I joined Clubhouse, and then found you and Christina Riley at the same time.
Yes, yeah. We tend to pop up in the same places actually sometimes.
Yeah, I just is it really neat? Is it really niche? Has every company
Tends to be. I mean, generally, I think most companies have, you know, one or a few, depending on their need. You know, all the companies I've worked for, apart from one, have had them.
Yeah.
Sometimes companies just leave it to the sort of operations sort of function, which I think is what Cruden did have before me.
Yeah.
I think certainly in the West, I've been brought on to sort of standardise programmes and things like that, and yeah, most companies do, but it is fairly, and I think what a lot of companies do as well, a lot of companies may outsource it, so it's not necessarily something that would be in-house, but when you've got a bank of jobs, then you're probably as well having someone in-house.
Yeah, I mean, so from working alongside kind of construction projects, I can see how valuable it is. What got you into it in the first place?
Well, I actually, so when I was working in, or studying, doing my undergraduate, and I was working in a work placement, and
what did you do as an undergrad?
Construction management, construction project management was my undergraduate. So this is just a few years ago. Like, I only came back into construction later in life, as they say. So a few years ago, I was working and doing a placement at the same time as doing my studying, and I was doing that placement in particular was as an assistant design coordinator with a construction company based in Livingston, and one of the ladies that worked there was a really good mentor to me, and we just kind of become quite close, you know, and then I went on to do site management in my next role, my next placement before my undergrad. And then when I graduated, when it came up to my graduation, she had said to me, my company's looking for trainee planners. I think you'd be really good at that. Do you want to put your name in the hat to interview, and, you know, to apply and interview? So I said, yeah, I think that is something. At that time, working on site, I'd realised it wasn't for me. I wanted a little bit more of a life-work balance, or life-work harmony, which I wasn't really getting being on site. I loved being on site, but I just wasn't getting what I needed in terms of a volunteer role, because I do quite a lot of volunteering. It was really difficult to be able to plan that well with being on site. You know, it's like some things happen and you can't maybe get away. You know, it's not like, oh well, my time's up, I'm away now. But if something's happened on site, you're stuck there, you know. And I just felt like, for me, planning would offer me that bit more structure, so that I could then do my volunteering, and I could have that sort of other aspect that I really enjoyed, because I'm really passionate about the volunteering side. So I thought, you know, I'm going to give it a try. So I did, and I was a trainee with her for just over a year. But then unfortunately last year, due to the COVID sort of situation, lockdown, I was made redundant from that role. So hence I'm now at Cruden. So that's the wee backstory on how I got here today. Right, so the wee backstory, the long backstory, the long and winding road.
Well, so let's just rewind it a little bit. So what took you into construction management as an undergrad degree?
So it's something I'd always really wanted to do. Well, I'd always been quite interested in doing sort of hands-on stuff, but at school I didn't have the opportunity. At that time, where I was from, the wee places up north, Scotland, it was very much like, you're a girl, you need to kind of like keep your options open. And I just didn't want to do anything else other than the technical subjects, but they felt like things like home economics and biology were more suitable at that time, and it just, you know, it put me off. Unfortunately, then I had a period of some sort of personal situations, and I became homeless for a wee while, so I didn't actually get back to studying until, you know, later on. And I'd always wanted to, I'd actually wanted to do architectural technology, believe it or not. But then I realized I'm not really good at drawing or sitting down for very long, or I didn't really feel like I was a good person at software and sort of that sort of side. So I thought that's probably all the three things you kind of need to be architectural technology, and yeah, it's probably not going to be the greatest of ideas for me. So I was starting to look at what else I could do in the built environment, because it interested me. When I was at school, one of my friends was, her father was an architect, and it really, it just interested me. But architecture was never for me, because I just didn't have that. I think I'm quite good at visions, but I'm not good at putting visions on paper, which is what architects need to do. They need to convey visions, and I can't do that. I can have them, I can tell you all about them, but I can't put them down. So yeah, it wasn't a good match. So built environment was for me, but I certainly see myself as much more of a getting into the thick of it, things with people, and, you know, being on site and that sort of thing kind of appealed to me more. So I applied for some college courses in the built environment, like as access courses, because when I'd left school, you know, I only had my standard grades or GCSEs. I didn't have any higher, and I hadn't studied anything before that. So I felt like there was a bit of a gap between what I had and what I needed to do. But I'd promised myself I was always going to go back to studying. You know, it was something I'd always had my mindset on. But as you do when you're you're young and you've got bills to pay, you just get stuck doing, right, I need to go to work, and you know, and I just got stuck in that sort of what I call the hamster wheel of life, and just work, eat, sleep, repeat type of thing. But then I went away on my holiday one year and decided on the way back I just couldn't do this for the rest of my life. I was working retail and hospitality jobs, and it was, you know, it was good and I enjoyed them, but it just didn't fulfill me. It wasn't what I wanted to do forever. So I applied. I literally applied on the train coming home. I went to Bruges, and on the Eurostar, like filling in application forms and stuff like that on the way back. And then I got offered a place. So and that was 7 years ago that I started that journey. And this is me now 7 years later, as a planner. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind to get where I am, but it's been great. It's been the best thing I've ever done, this coming into the construction industry. I love it.
Awesome. So you mentioned that you do volunteering as well.
Yep.
So what sort of volunteering do you do?
So I do volunteering with lots of different hats. So I'll give a quick overview of those. Like I said, the main thread is young and new professionals and trying to promote the industry. So since I've been at college, I've been with the CIOB, the Chartered Institute of Building. And I have been involved with them in their Scotland, which used to be Novus Group, so it's the young and new professionals. We have just rebranded and changed to Tomorrow's Leaders. So I've been involved with them for the past 6 or 7 years, basically organising events, networking, CPDs for young and new professionals in Scotland. And I've been involved in a number of projects with the CIOB at HQ level, corporate plans, and the governance review that they just undertook last year. I was involved with that and putting the proposals forward, which has all just come to fruition, which is really good. And I'm also just been elected onto the member engagement committee as well, for a tenure of 3 years starting about now. And I do mentoring with a number of different groups, including my old university. I'm a girl guiding leader. I'm training at the moment as a Brownie group, in my local area to promote to young girls about STEM. Obviously we do other things as well, but I'm trying to bring that STEM element into the local area of the Girl Guiding as well, and doing some different things. So for example, yesterday, with it being World Ozone Day, I'd made like a little video and did some slides and just talked to them about that sort of thing. So I'm doing that. I'm doing some construction, like role model type workshops with them. And with the STEM ambassadors as well, I do things with them, and a lot of that is more going into schools, doing talks with school-age children. A lot of the stuff we do with the CIOB is college and university, and I just felt there was a real need for that. Absolutely, you know, we need to speak to the people at those levels, and you know, help them find opportunities, and you know, let them see other different job roles that they may be not aware of. As you know, most people, it's like, you know, project manager, quantity surveyor, architect, you know, surveyor, that sort of thing. It's the main kind of roles, but there's so many other roles. So but I just felt like it was important for me to speak to younger children as well. So that's why I got involved with STEM ambassadors, and I do volunteering, going into schools, helping. There's a couple of local schools I'm helping with their sort of like STEM offering and stuff like that, and just sort of connecting them with construction activities as well, and things that they can do to promote construction and STEM within their primary schools as well. I'm also involved with a company called Collabed Construction, collabed.co.uk, and they're an online social media for construction and built environment professionals. And I help them with some admin roles and the social media side of things. At the moment, they offer sort of like job boards and competitions and things like that for students and young professionals. And then I've just started sort of under my own brand doing some workshop trainings as well, under my own brand of the Determinator Collective, which I'm doing that, and I'm going to be launching a podcast as well, which is amazing. It's mainly on the podcast is going to be based around resilience and overcoming challenges and promoting STEM as careers of opportunity to overcome, which is basically my story, but finding other people who have similar stories and talking to them about that and what they can do. So I'm hoping to launch, I was actually hoping to launch that at the end of this month, but it'll maybe be like maybe a month's time now, maybe into October. That's going to be called the Everyday Determinator podcast. So some people that just, you know, we do what we do every day and just get on with things, but we've come through big stories, lots of challenges, different challenges. And I'm also looking to bring in an element of self-care to that, because we're notoriously not great at that in construction and these sort of job roles. So it's about trying to give people the tools that they can use to overcome almost different ingredients of recipes that they can put together, you know, different challenges with different sort of solutions, self-care solutions, and also like different job roles as well as a promotion, trying to show people all the different ingredients, and maybe they can find their own recipe to get through their challenges and maybe find a career of opportunity in built environment or STEM. And so I'm doing that, and then I like to have a couple of workshop facilitations. I've trained as a workshop facilitator for the I Am Remarkable. So
what do you mean by a workshop?
So I deliver workshops. The I Am Remarkable workshop is a workshop on self-promotion, so helping people to understand the need for self-promotion and that it's okay to self-promote. And we do like it's a 90-minute workshop where I talk you through the why and the how of, you know, why you need to do that, why it's important to do that, and then how you can do that.
Amazing. Do you want to, yeah, when you're going to pop a bio over to me and put some of the, just put some of all of these links in there as well. So if anyone's listening and want to get in touch, then please do.
I will do. I do have a website launching as well soon, but it's not quite live yet, so I don't know if it'll work with timing, but I'll let you know. I'll pop it in, and then you can, if it's live in time for when you put this up, we can add it. If not, we can just leave it out maybe.
And what would you say to people who are wanting to go out there and then kind of get girls more encouraged into STEM?
Well, I mean, I love the industry. It's given me so much opportunity. There's opportunity to have a really interesting career. There's a chance to have.
But how would you
like
engaging with?
Okay, so there's lots of different ways to do it. I found being as like involved with your professional bodies, you know, a lot of professional bodies, so like the Chartered Institute of Building, or, you know, maybe the RIAS, that's Scotland, RIBA for architecture, and CAT as well, the architectural technologists, or RICS, you know, whoever your professional body is. A lot of them have young professionals groups. In terms of younger people, probably STEM ambassadors would be they're the sort of biggest group that I'm aware of.
So is it a website?
Yep, you can go on, and I think it's just www.stemambassadors. If you literally type in STEM ambassadors, you'll be able to find it. And basically you go through an induction process where you do your disclosure process and a bit of an induction, and then basically there's an online portal where you can either offer opportunities to engage, or they have schools who maybe require an input from someone. They'll say, oh, maybe we're doing something like, for example, next week in Scotland it's Maths Week. So I went on, and there's a few opportunities of schools that are looking for STEM ambassadors to come in and speak to the children about maths and what they do for maths in their job. It might be maths, it might be something else next week. You know, there's different projects. And you can either go on and browse those offers and accept one and say, oh, I can help you with that, or you can put up your own offer. So if you offer, like for instance, my workshops, I can put that as an offer on the website so that people can then come to me and find me.
Is there anyone that's is there anyone that's lobbying the government at the moment around kind of STEM subjects and encouragement for girls to get into construction?
I know that with the room that I attend on a Friday is mainly focused around women in construction, but the lady there, Michaela Wayne and Hayley Roberts, they're doing quite a lot on that and trying to speak to the government as well about the need for younger people engaging. It's that sort of women in construction, but how do you get people in, how do you get women in? It's speaking to younger girls and getting them engaged. And because people typically they typically choose their children typically kind of know what they want to do from quite an early age, so we need to be engaging with children at an earlier age, because otherwise you've lost them. You know, if you wait till college and university, you've lost a lot of them.
I mean, is it on the Brownie agenda?
Yes, they do quite a lot, and actually in the Rainbows, which is the younger group again, they actually do have a construction badge, so the girls work towards that, and a lot of the badges, they've got quite a comprehensive across all the 4 groups, the Girl Guide, and they have the Brownies, the Rainbows, the Guides and the Rangers, and they have different programs basically. Let's say that the Rainbows does have a specific construction badge, but the Brownies, where I work with, they have initiatives on being well and jobs and things like that, so you can feed in. It's about having adventure as well, so it's designed in such a way that it can be applied, STEM or construction topics can be applied to a lot of what they do as well.
I'm just wondering if I should get involved in my own brownie groups, local brownie groups, and offer. Yeah,
I mean, I can't recommend. Honestly, I've had so much fun, and you just get such a good thing out of it. And even there's different ways you can engage with the Girl Guiding as well. I've decided to take on doing an actual leadership qualification so that I can be a leader. You can join as a helper, if you want to just do like a more infrequent kind of arrangement where you maybe go once or twice. I've kind of committed to doing a bit more than that, so I go on like a weekly sort of basis. But there's different opportunities for everybody to engage in a different in a way that suits you as well. So I couldn't recommend it more, to be honest.
I know on Clubhouse we've been talking about you finishing sort of modules and dissertations.
Yeah.
And what's that all been for?
So I'm doing my master's in quality management, Masters of Science in Quality Management, and I'm doing my dissertation at the moment. It's taken a little bit longer than I would have hoped, so I'm a wee bit behind target, as it were. On my own sort of personal targets, I'm a little bit behind where I wanted to be with those, but in a lot of other ways I'm further ahead of where I ever thought I was going to be this year. So on balance, I'm doing okay. You need to think about it, sometimes it can be hard to see that when you're behind with something. That's all you see is that, oh, I'm a bit behind, but actually overall I'm doing okay. And I'm also studying towards my chartership as well for the Chartered Institute of Building, which is the MCIOB status. So working towards that currently as well.
Cool. I know sort of there's a lot of rhetoric in the industry talk about kind of getting more women into construction, and I think with Pride Road, that's certainly something that, you know, that's one of our, well, my main mission statement is about kind of retention of women in the industry. So in architecture, there's a 50-50 split between men and women going into university, but as you go through, as you join the ARB, the Architects Registration Board, the kind of numbers drop down to 25%. And then at the RIBA, the numbers are 17.5%. And then as you get into senior positions, just women fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
So just Pride Road was born out of my personal experience, but actually finding a kind of solution of an architectural practice that works for women.
Yeah.
So it's about that work-life balance, and then actually offering it out and going, right, okay, this is a kind of formula for success, right, come under the umbrella, and then, you know, use our business model and then get out there and work. And so far, you know, there's 5 of us now. I don't know. Yeah,
I think the last time we spoke there was just a couple. Maybe I think.
Yeah. We've got.
And I remember the last time I think I was in Clubhouse. I think you said you were onboarding too at that sort of time. So yeah, that's amazing. Board.
Yeah. So I'm in South Manchester, the North Cheshire area. Magda, who is my pilot, is in sort of South Manchester. And Laura is down in Bournemouth and New Forest, and then Shwara's joined in Sutton and Kingston, so we've got a bit of London covered, and then Sandy's in South Warwickshire.
You're starting to spread out.
I know. only in England though at the moment. We want some more we want some people in Scotland, please.
Yes, we'll have to fly the Pride Road flag up in Scotland.
Absolutely, yeah. If you know anyone, especially in some of your future leaders. Tomorrow's leaders, yeah. Tomorrow's leaders, yeah. If you come across kind of young architects, Pride Road is definitely a way forward, and it gives people all those business skills as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think we need more of that in construction, and yeah,
because it doesn't necessarily have to be your only way forward. It could be kind of a learning opportunity.
Yeah. No, it's really exciting. I think it's really good, and I love what you're doing as well with it. It's great.
Thank you. Well, I'm happy to come on your podcast as well.
No, I appreciate that, and I will be reaching out for some guests. I think I've got about 10 or 12 guests sort of lined up, ready to record. I just need to do that. But I will be reaching out in my own network for. I've been so lucky that I've had people from out with my network come forward as guests first, which is probably a little bit strange maybe, but I'm going to reach out to my own network as well and get some of the good stories and experiences from people like yourself, and we'll get that. I just need to get recording.
Sounds exciting.
It is. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you've got an incredible amount of plate spinning at the moment, and I love your passion and drive. It's amazing. So good luck with everything, and we'll put all the links in the description. So if you're listening, please do get in touch with Anne. How do you spell your surname? Just quickly, if anyone is listening.
It's Okafor is Okafor.
Fabulous. Okay, I think it's time to wind up the conversation. So thank you very much, Anne, for joining us today. And
thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. So hopefully I'll see you on Monday, or hear you on Monday on Clubhouse.
Yes.
8 a.m.
It's in my diary.
Yay, 8 a.m. on Mondays Yeah, it's really good. I really enjoyed it when you came on and gave your talk. You gave a
Yeah, it's been great. Honestly, the room has been really good in terms of making connections with people. You know, I've made a number of connections from the room on Monday mornings, and you know, it's been really useful. And I've kept in touch with quite a lot of people as well. So yeah, really good.
networking works.
Absolutely.
Okay, so well, thanks very much for coming on. If to everyone else, if you've enjoyed listening to Architecture in the Den, please subscribe, like and share, whether it's on YouTube or on Spotify or Podbean, and please do get in touch. If you're interested in coming on the show, please contact me. You can find me on the Pride Road Franchise website. That's prideroadfranchise.co.uk. And yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so let's say goodbye.
Bye.